So this obedience or disobedience, time will tell. Time will tell. I mean, we now live in a world where you can have just 10 young men and women in one room, whether motivated or not motivated, and they can churn out 1 million stories using different names. You need to track it to find that this whole thing is being done in one room. Time will tell.
So the negotiations from the Southeast were not successful this time. Your erstwhile running mate, Peter Obi, left the PDP and joined another party, is also running for president. How do you think this will affect your prospects, given that the Southeast has always been such a safe zone for the PDP?
I really don't expect, the Labour Party to, to take as much votes from the PDP as people are suggesting. We could have seen it in the last elections in Osun State. What is the performance of the Labour Party? This is a party that doesn't have a governor, doesn't have members of the National Assembly, doesn't have state assembly members, and politics in this country depends on the structures you have at these various levels, at the local government level, at the state level, and at the national level. So it is very, very difficult to expect a miracle to happen, simply because Peter Obi is in the Labour Party.
Well, two quick follow-up questions. The first one is...
After all, they were saying through the social media they had more than 1 million votes in Osun State. But how many votes turned out to vote for Labour Party? And then again, mark you, you are talking about social media. In the North, 90% of our people are not tuned to social media.
How can Peter Obi win any election? Peter Obi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. That's why the votes are. All states are not equal. The fact that you are doing 70% in Anambra State does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than you. Kano is 4 million votes that actually happen. Anambra is what? The number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna State. So all states are not equal. If you poll states and you make them equal, yes, Peter Obi will sweep the southeastern states. He will do it in South-South. Where else? He's not polling well in Southwest, other than a drop in the ocean in Lagos. He's polling in the Christian enclaves in the north. He's polling well, but how many are they? How many? Peter Obi cannot win the election. He doesn't have the number of states. He doesn't have 25% in more than, the last time we checked, in more than 16 states. He can't go anywhere. Peter Obi is a Nollywood actor, and that's all he will be. This election is between the APC and the PDP because they have the footprint, they have the spread. Ethnicity and religious bigotry will not take you anywhere. And that's what the Labour Party campaign is about.
So this election is ours to lose, because I don't see any other person in the horizon. People who say they are obedient, of course, let them be, but they will run out of steam. We know how to manage elections. How many people have been able to do what we are doing? They can't even form their campaign council, not to talk about having timetable for elections.
I mean, I would say if Nigeria, if Peter Obi is one of our best, can Nigeria pull off what was pulled off, maybe what Trump pulled off, by getting these new votes that nobody even knew existed?
Is it possible?
That would be a delusion of grandeur.
Oh, wow.
I was in Labour. I started my journey from Labour. Nigerian politicians are everywhere. They have proliferated everywhere. They have infiltrated everywhere. The first thing Obi will face in Labour, he would have to fund the party. The party does not have money. Wow. And Nigerians don't make contributions. After I lost the first 10 million, I started shaking when I was in Labour. 10 million. They said they were setting up structures. But he has to now set up structures. They don't have structures.
Hi.
Realistic. Where is Labour in this country? Where is the structure? Where is Labour? No single member of local government, no state assembly, no House of Representatives, no Senate, no governor, no local government chairman, no nothing. Fine. They are starting. It's not bad to start. But you cannot start and at the same time be at the top.
But there seems to be popular among the youth.
Okay. Let the youth vote for them.
Like you said, the Labour Party came all out from the blues. In less than 2-3 months, it generated the same votes that PDP generated that has lasted for 25 years. And barring any last-minute abracadabra, they would have won election themselves.
Because, you see, what happened in the presidential election, as you could see, was that there was this wave, of obedience of young people that we all took for granted. And we were thinking that Peter Obi was a joke. Where will he go? So both PDP and APC, we were thinking, no, this man, he doesn't have structures. He will not be able to do much and so on. So, but the people somehow, young people, seized the initiative from all the politicians. And for the first time, what we saw in Nasarawa, in several other places, in Edo, in Delta, where the vice president comes from, we saw that the young people were serious about what they were doing, and they took advantage of the social media, to project a program that has shaken the nation. For me,
they say it is insanity to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. One would have thought that those who wrote Peter Obi off in 2023 would have learnt their lessons and adjusted their thinking in the build-up to the 2027 elections. But very surprisingly, they are doing the exact opposite. They are doubling down on the same empty, tired, and baseless rhetoric that failed them before. What makes this even more shocking is that some of them are repeating the same old political permutations based on the so-called KKK states, permutations that Peter Obi completely dismantled in 2023. Obi won the election using a totally different electoral map, one that defied all their calculations, assumptions, and political theories. He proved that Nigerian politics has changed, yet these same people are still holding on to a narrative that reality has already exposed as false. Even after seeing that their formulas did not work, they have refused to rethink. Instead, some of them are now coming up with all sorts of strange explanations and narratives just to convince themselves and others that Obi cannot win. Every day, a new excuse appears. Every day, a new theory is manufactured. All of it is aimed at one thing: dismissing Peter Obi's chances and downplaying the movement behind him. In fact, some of them have now started saying that 2027 is not 2023 and that the demography has changed. This argument is not only weak, it is actually ridiculous. Demography did not suddenly disappear in 2023 when Obi shocked the political establishment. Young people, first-time voters, urban voters, and disillusioned Nigerians did not vanish overnight. If anything, the conditions that produced the obedient movement have become even stronger. It is both funny and unbelievable how they continue to underrate a man who, against all odds, actually won the election in 2023. Without the kind of political structure they worship, without access to state resources, and without godfathers, Peter Obi still changed the entire political conversation in Nigeria. That is a fact, no matter how uncomfortable it makes them. So, this message is really for my colleagues, the Obedients. This is to encourage you and strengthen your resolve. Do not be discouraged by these speeches that dismiss or downplay Obi's candidacy or chances. We heard far worse in 2023. We were mocked, insulted, and told repeatedly that it was impossible. Yet we saw what happened. So keep your heads up, stay focused, stay organized. Once Peter Obi gets the ticket of any political party, whether it is ADC, Labour Party, or even the Birthday Party, we will go to work just as we did before. And this time, we will work even harder. Because history has already shown that when Nigerians decide, no amount of political calculation or recycled rhetoric can stop them.